Sydney dealing with a new COVID outbreak.
18 new cases and the focus shifts to the inner suburbs and the southwest. Tonight, this is the scene at one of dozens of testing locations, a new infection cluster at Croydon, alerts in place for Bankstown Sports Club and a major shopping centre.
Barricades going up, the foreshore gets shut down, tough new rules for New Year's Eve.
The SCG test going ahead, but questions tonight. Is it the right decision?
Also, Maryland's mayhem, crashes and injuries, a man on the run.
Knocked overboard, clinging on for life, a boatie's remarkable survival story.
And in sport, Pekovsky in, Burns out, major changes ahead of the third test.
Live from Sydney, 7 News with Michael Usher and Angela Cox.
Good evening. Sydney's COVID infections are spiking with calls for the city to be placed back into lockdown. Tonight, a major alert for Bankstown Sports Club. Earlier today, the Premier revealed 18 new infections. The biggest worry, the Croydon cluster. Cases there certain to rise. The outbreak means there are now tighter restrictions just in time for New Year's Eve.
Despite all that, the SCG test will go ahead as planned next week with as many as 25,000 fans. And while the vaccine rollout remains on track, it's been revealed to 7 News there will be no emergency approval of the Pfizer jab here. On a day that saw a sudden surge in infections, the latest alerts stretch as far west as the Blue Mountains.
For weeks, contact tracers have managed to link most COVID patients to only the one cluster, Avalon. Today,
the health experts are calling it the Croydon cluster.
Croydon locals responded with mass testing.
Do you think you'd have got a test if the Croydon cluster had not been announced?
Probably not.
I'm just a bit paranoid, honestly.
The source, which cannot be traced to the northern beaches, is one extended family.
And we anticipate, because of the nature of that extended family's movements, that there will be more cases from that cluster.
That Croydon Park group had a number of family gatherings over a number of days. There were about 34 close contacts identified.
They are all in isolation and locals are nervous.
A bit concerning because Croydon's such a small suburb and we haven't really had any cases.
We're a bit wary.
In all, there are 18 cases to report tonight, our worst day since the Avalon outbreak. 9 are already linked to that cluster. Then there are 3 adults and 3 children across 3 households linked to the new Croydon cluster. A Wollongong woman in her 50s, reported late yesterday, has passed the infection to a household contact, a woman in her 20s. There is also a case from the northern suburbs. Priceline Pharmacy at Rhodes has issued a warning after a COVID-positive customer visited there. And 7 News understands Campsie is emerging as a concern where a new pop-up clinic popped up only today. The emergence of Croydon means more restrictions ahead of New Year's.
The Croydon cluster demonstrates what happens when there are larger family gatherings and how it only takes one person.
Effective from midnight and until further notice for Sydney, Wollongong, the Central Coast and Mountains, household gatherings have been cut to 5 visitors, outdoor gatherings slashed to 30. On the beaches, for the southern zone, it is now just 5 household guests and groups of 10 outdoors. For the northern zone, 5 indoors and 5 outdoors. And for the next week, health authorities are urging everybody to protect the elderly.
We're asking that all residential aged care facilities exclude visitors.
With a second case identified in Wollongong today, queues spiked in numbers too.
You must get tested immediately and isolate until you receive a negative result.
Yeah, good book to read and just checking social media every so often.
We cannot have lines like this for days on end. We need more clinics here in the Illawarra.
One of the afflicted visited the open-air cinema at Mrs Macquarie's Chair and Buckley's Bar along the Opera House Promenade on Thursday, December 17. Anyone there that day is urged to get tested. Another Wollongong case visited the Greek Orthodox Church of the Holy Cross while infected. This church holding services where people kiss the Bible.
It's probably a good idea not to share saliva at the moment.
We will further communicate to religious groups about COVID-safe practices.
Dobbing someone in is generally not seen as a particularly Australian thing to do. The pandemic, however, is writing its own rules, where society is now being policed not only by police, but anyone else concerned about breaches. A call to Crime Stoppers has now spawned 21 fines for Northern Beaches residents who attended a wedding at Pyrmont, including the bride. A family member told us today they are distressed and sorry.
For now, the government is resisting the urge to place Greater Sydney in lockdown before the virus spreads yet again.
It's always a balancing act. The health advice doesn't request that at this stage.
For the strategy to work, they rely on people to do the right thing. But spontaneous dance parties like this a few days ago, unlike the Bronte Beach party, are difficult to stop when they are underground.
And Robert Avadia joins me now from Croydon. Rob, good evening. Late developments on a number of hotspot locations.
Yes, correct. To add to the 170 or so locations identified across the Sydney Basin, I'll run through a few of them now. At Bankstown, there is the Bankstown Sports Club, Priceline Pharmacy, another pharmacy at Liverpool, also Priceline. At Bass Hill, we have Bass Hill Plaza, Hair Management, Venus Nail Salon, and also in the mountains, Katoomba, Greenwell and Thomas Pharmacy. Now, where I am right now is the testing clinic at Croydon. It has been teeming with cars throughout the afternoon. It's just started to dissipate in the past 20 minutes, but the hours have been extended to 8 p.m. There is absolutely no doubt pressure is growing on Gladys Berejiklian to enforce a city-wide lockdown before things get out of control. The West Australian government was asked today what they would do. They said if it were them, that they would have enforced a lockdown by now. Certainly nobody in ICU, nothing compared to Melbourne. Having said that, as a comparison, in June, Melbourne, when they were recording 18 daily cases, just like today, a month later, it had swollen to 428.
Robert Avadia in Croydon, thank you.
The new restrictions have left people scrambling to salvage plans for what was already going to be a very different New Year's Eve. There will be no big indoor parties and outdoor events have been cancelled across Sydney. The Harbour Fireworks is one of the only displays set to go off, but with no crowd.
After a year like no other, Sydney is set to celebrate a new year like no other. Barriers around the harbour are up, not to keep crowds in but out, and for those planning to set up camp at other vantage points.
Stay away. Please stay home. We can't guarantee your safety.
Safety, the reason the numbers for outdoor gatherings across Greater Sydney have been slashed from 50 to 30, meaning scenes like this will seem a distant memory.
We don't want New Year's Eve to be the cause of a super spreader.
More than 60,000 people normally pack into Parramatta Park on the 31st of December.
4, 3, 2.
Just one day out, no preparations. The park all but empty.
We'll just stick around with the parents and just have a family day.
Fireworks displays not only cancelled in Parramatta, but also in Penrith, Campbelltown, Fairfield, Coogee, Brighton Le Sands and on the northern beaches, with Wollongong now added to the growing list. Liverpool Council still plans to have 6 smaller family fireworks displays. On the eastern beaches, plans are in place to stop a repeat of Bronte's Christmas Day bash. Security guards will be patrolling the area, extra police too, with popular party spots off limits.
We've actually cancelled our major event up at Dudley Park Reserve, so please don't come if you're used to coming every year. And we've actually fenced off Dudley Park Reserve, Cavan Park and Biddigal Reserve down at Bondi.
No normal celebrations on the northern beaches either this year. Outdoor groups there are limited to just 10 in the southern zone, 5 in the north.
Please try and limit what you do. Please stay at home.
For those who do, there will be little fanfare, with only 5 guests allowed in homes across Sydney.
A celebration would have been nice, but we still have to respect the rules.
We'll be keeping safe so everyone else is safe.
But a low-key farewell to 2020. May mean we'll be able to party properly next year. Now, any other year, we'd be seeing huge crowds down here fighting for position, the best vantage point for the fireworks, but the night before New Year's Eve. But this year, areas here like Blues Point are off limits and all but empty tonight. The fireworks display will also have a very different look. There will be no family fireworks display at 9 o'clock. The midnight fireworks will only go for an abbreviated 7 minutes, and you'll have to catch those from home.
OK, Tom Saker, thank you.
Authorities insist the spike in COVID cases won't affect the third cricket test from being held in Sydney next week. Despite new limits on outdoor gatherings, the plan is for the SCG to host 25,000 fans after the match was saved from being lost to Melbourne.
Packing away the broadcast suite at the MCG and preparing the SCG. for what a few days ago seemed like the impossible.
As soon as I got it on the phone, I messaged the boys and it was just a relief.
Cricket Australia confirming Sydney will remain the host of the third test that starts next week.
It's just been a massive team effort to make sure that we conduct and can complete the schedule safely.
And my God, what a relief it was. You know, it's our spiritual home.
No one happier about the decision than the McGrath Foundation, the high-profile Pink Test, its main fundraiser.
It wouldn't be the same if it wasn't at the SCG, so we're just incredibly grateful.
Players, though, will now be forced to stay in Melbourne until next week, flying north just 3 days before the toss, and be handed a special exemption to enter Queensland for the Gabba test that follows in just over a fortnight.
The priorities are, getting through this series really safely, and everyone's, absolutely desperate to play these last two tests, so whatever it takes.
Both Cricket Australia and the state government, though, say the current health advice is that it's safe for the stands here at the SCG to be half full, with room for close to 25,000 fans to attend.
The best health advice to us is that 50% capacity of that venue in an outdoor setting is safer than being in a household.
We are looking over the plans as we speak to ensure that we can strengthen all elements.
But critics argue it's the wrong move.
It is disappointing. I know cricket lovers, sports fans love it, but we're not at that stage yet of being safe. This decision is more based on emotion than outbreak management.
There is a risk. It needs to be outweighed with the benefits, of course. 9 days is very long in COVID time, so let's see what happens in Sydney in the next week.
The opposition says crowds should be banned.
No one needs to be attending that match. It's not necessary. You can only imagine what may happen if a cluster develops coming out of the Sydney cricket ground.
Gurnam Singh hasn't missed a Sydney test in 13 years and is adamant he'll be there for this one.
We have all the tickets. People are ready. My suit is ready.
Cameron Price, 7 News.
In breaking news, the UK has just approved the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine. The British government is now on track for a rollout across January, which Australia will be watching. Our federal government plans to produce 50 million doses of the Oxford vaccine here at home and import a further 3.8 million doses early next year. Vaccinated travellers may be given exemptions from hotel quarantine under a new federal government plan.
A vaccination certificate or passport would allow smoother international travel, but the opposition says it's too risky. And 7 News can reveal there won't be an emergency approval of the COVID vaccine in Australia.
500,000 new cases of COVID-19 worldwide yesterday. In some countries, December has become the deadliest month on record.
The intensive care units in California, for example, are completely full.
Despite the threat, Australian authorities are looking at ways to relax some travel and hotel quarantine restrictions.
I think we need to proceed with extreme caution here.
The Federal Health Department is discussing potential alternate entry and quarantine arrangements for returning Australians who may have been vaccinated, but it won't happen in the short term.
For the moment, vaccination will not be an alternative to 14-day quarantine.
The Australian Medical Association insists there's no need to rush.
The vaccine is not the silver bullet for our borders.
Whilst the Pfizer vaccine has been given approval for emergency use in multiple countries, including the US and the UK, 7 News understands there won't be emergency approval for the vaccine here. For 2 reasons. There's no regulatory system for emergency approval of drugs, and
we don't have an emergency here in Australia.
But final approval of the vaccine also can't happen unless Australian authorities receive all the relevant documentation, and pharmaceutical giant Pfizer is yet to provide it.
We have our team on standby right now. As soon as that arrives, we'll be looking at it.
Pfizer has told 7 News it will provide the TGA with the most up-to-date information, but won't say when. Jennifer Beshwati, 7 News.
An injured passenger has been left behind by a driver who went on a rampage through Marylands this afternoon. The man hit the accelerator after police switched on their sirens on Parramatta Road. The stolen Toyota Hilux crashed into a mother and son before ending up in the front yard of a home on Woodville Road. The driver took off and was last seen running along Marylands Road. His passenger was treated for broken bones.
Police are concerned about an alarming spike in gun violence across Western Sydney. 2 homes were targeted in drive-by attacks last night. Both properties had children inside. The shootings are believed to be linked to an escalating drug war.
A quiet Guildford neighbourhood swarms with police. This home on Kirk Avenue blasted with bullets. A couple and their 3 children inside, but not hurt.
It's very concerning that children have been subjected to offences involving firearms.
The gunman fled in a white Audi found torched in Chester Hill. 3 hours earlier in South Granville, another family home hit with up to 20 shots.
Yeah, here shooting, and I started people screaming here.
The suspects then set fire to their getaway car a few blocks away. Investigators say Ahmad Chauk was behind the wheel of a Mitsubishi Pajero and helped the gunman escape. Police say the so-called gang war kicked off on Christmas Day around 6 p.m, when Ahmad Chauk's family home in Guildford was peppered with bullets. He's then accused of being involved in the drive-by shooting at South Granville last night. 3 hours later, gunmen returned to Guildford and shot up the same home again. Mr. Chauk faced court today.
Court documents reveal the 27-year-old admitted to police he was driving the Mitsubishi Pajero near the crime scene, but claims he wasn't involved in the shooting. He says he was just driving around his local neighbourhood to find his friends and have fun.
He lives in the local area, so unfortunately sometimes wrong place, wrong time.
He'll walk free on bail tonight as extra police are called in to patrol the area. Natasha Squarey, 7 News.
It is not just COVID putting a dampener on Sydney's New Year's Eve celebrations. Weather experts say staying home might not be such a bad thing with more rain and storms on the way. The worst of today's wet weather hammering a community already doing it tough.
A soaked Sydney to see out 2020. The northern beaches already cut off and now dripping wet, receiving more rain than anywhere else in the state.
The rainfall figures we have been seeing this month are quite unusual.
Terry Hills had the biggest downpour with 105 millimetres, Allambie 72, Manly 63 and Forestville 58. The rain swelled the Narrabeen Lagoon. Before lunch, authorities released it, providing entertainment for kids on the new Northern Beaches border. The downpour also triggered flash flooding.
We don't want anybody to drive, ride or walk through any floodwaters, so if it's flooded, forget it and find another way around, please.
This weather radar shows that system becoming more widespread and heavier across the week.
Because we are in a La Nina, we are seeing enhanced rainfall and also quite a lot of tropical moisture.
Warragamba Dam is at 96.7%. That's up more than 50% from this time last year. New Year's Eve in New South Wales is forecast to be humid and wet. Storms are expected for much of the state, but most of those thunderstorms should steer clear of Sydney. Here, it's expected to be overcast with a few showers, and those conditions likely to stick around through to midnight. And it won't stop there. We're in for a soggy start to 2021. January through to March likely to be wetter than average. Welcome news for some. Miley Hogan, 7 News.
So let's get more details now with Angie Azimus. Angie, all this wet weather is also making for a cooler end to the year.
It is not feeling very summery at all, Ange. Right now it's 21 degrees in the CBD, but out in the elements feels closer to 19, and that is where the apparent temperature has pretty much hovered for most of the day. We've heard about the very heavy rain in Sydney overnight, but there was one other pocket in the state that also copped a drenching, and that was the north, where 80 millimetres fell at Mullumbimby, 50 at Lismore and 30 for Coffs Harbour. Again, that is where the storm warnings are tonight in this yellow zone, so more heavy rainfall on the way for the northwest slopes and northern tablelands. The reason for all this is a trough lingering over eastern New South Wales. As it gathers moisture, that wet weather will continue to push onto the coast. When will it all clear? Those details coming up soon, guys.
OK, thanks, Angie. Incredible rescues, but fears dozens more are trapped in the rubble.
A second strong earthquake rattles Croatia. Next, children escape collapsed buildings as a powerful quake hits, all live on air.
Crashes, near misses, why this man was running from police.
The engine troubles that forced this pilot to land on the sand.
Anxious Aussie struggling to pay for the essentials. The tips to help get you through. That's later.
And have the Thunder found a new master blaster in the Big Bash?
Introducing Light and Easy's new Jumpstart Plus. Jumpstart Plus combines the proven weight loss results of intermittent eating with Light and Easy's delicious summer menu. Plus, a new app to track your success and help you achieve your goals.
Every week I've consistently lost weight, and the new Jumpstart program really kick-started that for me.
Light and Easy made it pretty easy for me to lose it. I didn't have to think about it. The weight just kept dropping off.
Fast track your weight loss success in 2021 with Light and Easy's new Jumpstart Plus. Jump online today.
At Coles, you can slice, dice and prep like a pro with free chef quality knives. You'll earn a knife credit for every $20 you spend in one transaction when you scan your Flybuys card. Plus, get a bonus knife credit when you purchase selected products from participating brands. There's a knife for every cooking occasion for you to collect. Start earning bonus credits to complete your chef quality knife collection. Coles, value the Australian way.
The Hyundai sale event is now on. Experience all the best sides, including stunning value on selected models in the Hyundai range. Limited stock only, so what are you waiting for? Test drive a Hyundai today.
Tell her to go to the right. Bit more, bit more. Now back to the left.
A little to the left.
With the Optus Family Plan, you can get your family in on the action this summer. It starts with yes.
When your child is taught by industry experts in affordable courses, they will graduate with a qualification or degree and skills employers want. Search TAFE New South Wales or call 131 601 today.
Anaconda's massive 20 to 50% off store-wide sale is on now. Huge savings on camping gear, bikes, kayaks, fishing gear, clothing, footwear and more. Some exclusions apply. 20 to 50% off Boxing Day store-wide sale on now at Anaconda. Anaconda!
We have a job to do, all of us, to protect what we love, our team. We know what to do. It's simple. Bat, bowl, Dettol.
Get more of what you need to lose weight with the new MyWW Plus app. It helps you see that exercise can be the best part of your day.
It really takes the thinking out of healthy eating.
More holistic, more personalised, more weight loss. Join now and get your first month free.
Welcome back. In more breaking news, it appears Victoria's virus-free streak is over. 3 new positive cases detected late today have sent health authorities there scrambling. Those cases remain under investigation. It is not yet known if they were contracted via community transmission, which would end the state's 61-day run. Victoria has also tightened its border again. Anyone who has been in or visited the Blue Mountains or Wollongong over the past 3 days has until midnight tomorrow to enter the state.
Croatia's been hit by a second powerful earthquake in 2 days, the latest killing at least 7 people, including a 12-year-old girl. Locals say whole towns have been destroyed, but there are some quite remarkable survival stories.
In the seconds after the quake, chaos. As people emerge from the rubble, the cries of those trapped. Locals rushed to a car crushed by an avalanche of bricks and managed to pull a boy from the back seat. Moments later, firefighters search for his father before he too is freed and reunited with his son. This is a disaster one cannot imagine. Half the town has been demolished, the mayor says. The earthquake struck just before lunchtime, centred on the Croatian town of Petrinja, 6.3 on the Richter scale. It was seen live on TV and felt in the Slovenian parliament. There were aftershocks too. This was as a local mayor was speaking. The region has been hit by tremors for days, but this was by far the biggest, causing damage in the capital Zagreb and felt as far away as Austria. The recovery mission has been complicated by COVID. Those suffering from the virus are having to be kept separate as a clean-up mission begins. In London, Hugh Whitfield, 7 News.
A pilot survived what turned out to be a pretty picturesque landing, hitting the sand in Florida. He picked the all but empty stretch for an emergency landing, putting the Cessna down without anyone being hurt or any damage to the plane. Engine problems are being blamed.
Even by American standards, this police chase is being branded insane. The driver, on bail for manslaughter, had already carjacked someone, then disappeared. The next day, police found him again. He crashed head-on into them, but was determined to run.
We need units on 24. He jumped on the 24. He's running across 24. We're in all green. Just got hit by a car. Need units on 24. Emptying the carjack a white sedan. He's forcing entry right now into a car. The car is driving off with him hanging off the car.
Now, he pushed that driver out and just kept racing, causing another highway crash before taking off into bushland. Officers finally closed in. The driver was taken down by a police dog. A boatie is lucky to be alive.
A freak wave knocking him off his vessel, next found clinging to a navigation beacon, and how his dog survived the ordeal.
A Ute firebombed what this attack was all over.
The Vice President-elect gets the jab, now calls for a dramatic escalation in the vaccine rollout.
Plus a trailblazing designer, the tributes for Pierre Cardin. That's next.
7 News brought to you by Officeworks.
School shop's done.
With low prices and great savings, get ready for the best back to school ever at Officeworks.
In 2021, all your Aussie born and bred shows are on one night. Tuesday is Locals Night. And lobster's on the menu.
Big Daddy.
Oh, yeah! So, crack open a cold one with your squad and get ready for a truckin' good time. Mate. Because a new Aussie adventure is about to get rolling. In 2021, Tuesday is Locals Night. Mate!
Let's be real. Life often gets in the way of reading. That's where Audible comes in. Can't load of screaming kids? No problem.
The books transported her into new worlds.
Hey, oh wow, they're not my kids.
Audible is excellent for unwinding in bed with a cuppa.
Doesn't smell like a cup of tea.
Well, it's not tea. It's hard tea. Audible, it's books that fit with real life. Download the Audible app to enjoy best-selling audiobooks and exclusive podcasts.
Save in the Super Cheap Auto Super Service Sale Catalogue. This Tilpo 198-piece toolkit, $229.99, 30% off. And pick up 5 cans of export degreaser for $10. That's 30% off too.
The Hendersons were supposed to stay for weeks with Auntie Jean. They'll miss her crazy rantings and a month in quarantine. Guess nowhere else is better for BCFM. BCFM fun. Hey!
Toyota Prado. Luxury that goes anywhere. Oh, what a feeling. Toyota.
Powerboard. Play by your own rules.
Shaver Shop's Boxing Day sale. Save up to 85%. Flawless facial hair remover, save 60%. Water Pick Cordless Flosser, now $79. Half price Brawn Epilator, now $149. Shaver Shop's Boxing Day sale, on now.
4 out of 5 people who are blind don't need to be. A simple $25 surgery can restore sight. Please donate today to help carry on Fred's vision.
Every eye is an eye.
Introducing the new Jumpstart Plus. Light and Easy's Jumpstart weight loss program now comes with a bonus app to help you achieve your goals sooner.
Every week I've consistently lost weight, and the new Jumpstart program really kick-started that for me.
Jump online today.
An argument about parking has sparked an explosive attack at a Western Sydney home. A new Toyota Ute left in ruins outside a Kingswood unit block after being firebombed.
The whole shocking incident was captured on security video by the vehicle's distraught owner.
The moment a neighbourhood dispute explodes, a new Toyota Hilux up in flames.
There's an almighty explosion, and I knew instantly, that's the Ute, she's gone. Absolutely gutted.
Just 2 nights after Christmas, security video shows a man stacking rubbish on top of the vehicle before pouring over an accelerant and setting it on fire. The Ute's owner asked not to be identified, now fearing for his own safety.
I don't know them. I'm not out to make trouble.
His prized vehicle, worth $55,000, was also badly damaged on Christmas Eve, smashed up with a chair. Police have told the Ute's owner that whoever caused the explosion probably did it because they didn't like where it was parked.
Detective said this is probably just because you've parked in front of their rubbish bins.
Police arrested a man 2 days ago, but released him without charge. They've told the owner of the Ute they're still investigating and are looking for more evidence.
Since the attack, I've put up a lot more cameras. I think it's just cowardly. It's just a senseless attack, and basically you deserve what you get.
Tom Saker, 7 News.
A year on from Australia's Black Summer, there are fresh warnings for communities still reeling from the impact. New Year's Eve 2019 saw the state's south coast hit hardest. Now the Red Cross is urging those affected to be aware of the psychological and emotional impact, especially around the anniversary. If you or someone you know is struggling, the Red Cross is offering a range of resources online.
There are claims a newly approved housing development in Sydney southwest will be, quote, utter disaster for one of the state's healthiest koala populations. Community groups fear work to remove trees and drain dams just south of Campbelltown will stop the koala population expanding. The Lend-Lease development will see 333 new homes.
President-elect Joe Biden says the Trump administration's vaccination program is running so slowly it could take years to complete. With daily deaths edging towards 4,000, Biden's promised to ramp up the effort, but he'll need the help of Congress to fund it.
3 weeks from the job of Vice President, Kamala Harris receives the Moderna vaccine.
Get vaccinated. It's about saving your life.
If only the vaccine rollout were living up to the hype.
A vaccine for 20 million Americans before the end of December.
Of the promised doses, the US government has delivered a little more than half, but states have only used about 1/10 of the target.
The Trump administration's plan to distribute vaccines is falling behind, far behind.
The President-elect says from his January inauguration, vaccinations will need to move 5 to 6 times as fast.
This is going to be the greatest operational challenge we've ever faced as a nation.
He too has a vaccine target that could easily haunt his administration, 100 million doses in the Biden presidency's first 100 days, needed to dent a virus out of control.
This is a viral tsunami that we are now experiencing.
And the US state with more COVID cases than any other, California, today extended its stay-at-home orders. Virus specialists worry that Christmas travel is about to drive America's record winter case rush higher still.
We're going to have an increase superimposed upon that surge, which could make January even worse than December. I hope not. I hope that doesn't happen.
And Colorado contact tracers are trying to track how a man in his 20s caught the first US case of the highly infectious UK coronavirus variant. They say the man has not travelled recently. In the United States, Tim Lester, 7 News.
A boatie is very lucky to be alive, knocked overboard and found clinging to a navigation beacon just north of Brisbane. His boat's engine was still running when it ran aground on a beach, his dog still on board.
Stranded at sea, skipper David Simpson saved by a single beacon, a lifeline after the experienced seaman fell from his 56-foot boat, the Focus.
Boat rolled, a dinghy hit me and broke a rope, hit me, and I fell about 2.5 metres on the back of the boat, hit some ribs and ended up in the water.
His staffy left on deck.
Mitch driving away, but he didn't steer very well, did he? That's my dog.
The 64-year-old swam around 2 kilometres to the beacon, then waited up to 4 hours to be rescued.
Probably about 6 rescue boats, 3 choppers, and we also had a couple of lifeguards on jet skis. So all up, probably about 10 to 12 assets and with people on board.
3 cargo ships passed him without stopping. The alarm not raised until the Focus ran aground at the northern tip of Bribie Island.
As we approached the boat, we could see Mitch, the pup, walking around the deck, probably confused on what was actually happening.
The Coast Guard tried to salvage the boat, but it couldn't be pulled from the sand. It remains beached, full of water. Salvage experts will now try to put flotation bags underneath the hull and pump out the water in an effort to free the vessel. Isabel Mullen, 7 News.
The body of a man's been discovered at the back of a medical centre in Hornsby. He was found in the bin room just after lunch. The area is a crime scene while police investigate. They haven't yet revealed how he died.
Legendary French designer Pierre Cardin has died. He's being remembered as the man who pioneered the fashion industry as we know it today. Cardin changed the game in the 1950s by selling designer clothing in department stores. In a career spanning 6 decades, he built a global empire selling everything from perfumes to pens. Pierre Cardin was 98.
They've turned their backs on the royal family.
And have now released their first podcast. Next, Harry and Meghan's debut episode and what Archie had to say.
The Woolworths milk recall, which cartons are affected?
The newest attractions at a popular park and how you can name them.
In sport live from Melbourne, the axe has already fallen for the Australian cricket team. Find out who's out soon.
And after an absolute drenching today, showers should be lighter tomorrow. Your detailed New Year's Eve forecast is coming up.
Wake up with Sunrise. It's informing.
To breaking news now.
It's inspiring.
Good morning, everyone. Having you guys picked us up today.
It's life-changing.
$70,000. No way.
Yes. Start your day feeling good with On 7.
San Remo pasta has been loved by Aussie families since 1936. While a lot has changed since then, we remain a 100% Australian family-owned business. San Remo, we're family.
Feel real comfort on a plush sofa. Now with up to 50% off. Plus 48 months interest-free.
Appliances Online's Boxing Day sale is now on. Enjoy great savings across a huge range of brands, including Bosch, Fisher & Paykel, Haier, Samsung and Asato. Visit appliancesonline.com.au today.
Lotto's $30 million mega draw is this Saturday. Hurry, grab an entry today for a chance to make your own mega memories. Wouldn't it be nice?
Audible is excellent for unwinding in bed with a cuppa.
It doesn't smell like a cup of tea.
Well, it's not tea. It's hard tea. What are you, the tea police?
Download the Audible app and start listening today.
The Nick Scali January sale is on now. Save up to 50% off a huge range of quality furniture. Up to 50% off. The Nick Scali January sale on now.
Get more of what you need to lose weight with new MyWW+. With the at-home workouts, it makes it easier to fit exercise into your schedule.
It takes what's in your fridge and gives you healthy recipes to make for your family.
It tracks my sleep, makes sure I'm eating the right foods and having enough water.
And with hundreds of 0-point foods, you can lose weight and still have a life.
More holistic, more personalised, more weight loss. New MyWW+ from Weight Watchers Reimagined. Join now and get your first month free.
Welcome back. Taking a look at the markets now. The ASX 200 wiped off most of yesterday's gains, closing down 18 points. Losses were compounded by the state's new COVID cases. Afterpay, the buy now, pay later company, one of the day's hardest hit stocks. And the Aussie dollar is still rising, buying close to 76.5 US cents. At the petrol station, no real sign of price relief for now. Unleaded has been selling for less than 97 cents in Georges Hall.
Woolworths has pulled a batch of its milk from the shelves after customers complained about the taste of chemicals. 2 and 3 litre cartons of the Woolies branded full cream milk with a use-by date of January 4 have been recalled. Despite the bad taste, Woolworths is assuring customers the milk is perfectly safe. Anyone who's unhappy can request a refund. It's a $55 million deal to share their voices with the world, but the real star of Harry and Meghan's first podcast is little Archie. For the first time, the world has heard him speak.
His parents were paid millions to make a podcast, but little Archie stole the show.
You can speak in turn.
Archie, is it fun? Fun. Harry and Meghan's 19-month-old son talking to the world.
After me. Ready? Happy?
Happy?
New?
New?
New.
The 33-minute show also had cameos from the couple's celebrity friends.
Hello, my name is James Corden.
My name is Elton John.
My name is Naomi Osaka, and I'm a tennis player.
The couple has been living in California since stepping away from royal duties almost 12 months ago.
No one having to say, you're on mute, over and over again, which is probably one of the defining phrases of 2020.
So true. They thanked frontline workers who have sacrificed so much around the world this year.
We really want to honour the compassion and kindness that has helped so many people get through it.
And at the same time, to honour those who've experienced uncertainty and unthinkable loss.
And there's more to come from the Sussexes in 2021, as well as the $55 million Spotify deal. They've signed a mega deal to produce TV shows for Netflix. Melina Saris, 7 News.
A couple of chicks are causing a stir at the Australian Reptile Park north of Sydney. The zoo welcomed 2 baby emus this week, and they're already keeping staff busy. The cheeky arrivals still don't have names, and keepers are hoping visitors will be able to come up with some suitable suggestions.
Many Sydney-siders are coming down from their Christmas splurge and are now overstretched. Coming up, struggling to pay for the essentials. The tips where you can save. Don't miss that story soon here on 7 News.
For Smells Back with Sport Mel, big changes have already been made for the Australian cricket team.
Hello, Angie. You're right. One batsman has already been axed, and there could be more on the way out. Details up next. Plus, welcome faces David Warner and Will Pucovski rejoin their teammates and could play at the SCG. And the English import smashing the Stars out of the ground, not once, but twice in the Big Bash.
This is Big Brother. My new house is full of secrets.
Bring it on.
The Dominator is relentless.
Bring it on.
This farmer would love a wife.
Bring it on.
2021, bring it on.
Bring it on.
At Bet365, we're always innovating, creative. It's this constant pursuit of perfection that brought you Bet Builder, Match Live, alerts, and live streaming. It's the reason we're the world's favorite online betting company.
Gamble responsibly.
Harvey Norman Summer Sizzlers. Enjoy summer at home with easy styling thanks to the Dyson Supersonic Hairdryer. Just $549 with bonus $50 Harvey Norman gift card. Plus, get 60 months interest free with a bonus gift card. Now at Harvey Norman.
You searched a place nearby. You found a renewed love for Australia. Trivago. Compare accommodation offers nearby from the leading brands worldwide and find the right deal for you. Hotel, holiday home, family time. Trivago.
The Rebel sale ends Sunday. Get up to 30% off a range of footwear and football boots and save $1,000 on this Proform treadmill, now $12.99. Sale ends Sunday. Loads more deals in store and online. Rebel, sport is calling.
I know what you're thinking. Electric. It's not for you. You're probably right. Electric just doesn't have enough range. Everyone knows water and electricity don't mix. No more hanging out here either. Electric just can't keep up. So maybe an electric car isn't for you. Or is it?
Say hello to weight loss success with Jenny Craig.
I don't think I could have lost weight without Jenny Craig. I love the taste and the convenience of the food.
Start today with our free 8-week membership plus free delivery. Cost of food additional.
So call Jenny Craig now.
The Nick Scali January sale is on now. Our biggest sale of the year with savings across a huge range of quality furniture. The Nick Scali January sale on now.
What's it feel like to get 25% off the electricity reference price?
I think I'll have to check them out.
Find your energy saving today at alinterenergy.com.au.
This Sport Report brought to you by Alinta Energy. Get a great energy deal supporting your home team.
Welcome back to Melbourne. Australian selectors have officially run out of patience with Joe Burns. The struggling opener has been dropped, with Will Pucovski now back in the frame to finally make his Test debut 2 years after he was first picked for Australia.
They had every right to tee off at the Aussie top 6 after Boxing Day. While Mitchell Starc and Josh Hazlewood enjoyed a round of golf, it was back to the MCG for Australia's batsmen.
It's only been 2 Test matches. We've really only had, 3 innings.
No more chances for Joe Burns, who has been dropped and sent back to the Big Bash. Will Pucovski to enter the Australian hub tomorrow. Marcus Harris also in the selection frame, leaving Travis Head vulnerable to hold his spot. Back at the nets, Steve Smith left his bat at the team hotel, instead opting to roll the arm over. Australia's best since Bradman, without a Test century since last year's Ashes.
The great ones find a way to get back.
David Warner has been in Melbourne the past week and unable to join his teammates, but he'll re-enter the Aussie hub as early as tomorrow. The Australians will spend the new year here in Melbourne before flying up to Sydney just 3 days before the start of the third Test, where they'll enter a hub effectively in lockdown from Sydney's COVID outbreak. While Australia's batsmen struggle, our bowling unit continues to carry the load.
It's bowler side out for 300 on the MCG, really good wicket. And create so many chances is, a big tick.
Andrew McCormack, 7 News.
New Zealand have pulled off a dramatic last session win in their first Test against Pakistan.
He's put the hand up. Mitchell Sanders done it. Mitchell Sanders finished the game for New Zealand, and look at the scenes.
Yeah, that stunning catch secured the Kiwis' 101-run win, which will see them jump above Australia into the top-ranked Test team in the world. It isn't often we like to see English cricketers play well in Australia, but Thunder star Alex Hales could be an exception. The big-hitting batsman smashed the team's fastest ever 50 against the Stars last night, and his best could be yet to come.
If there were any questions around Alex Hales, last night was a definitive answer.
He's putting on a show with the Thunder tonight.
Finally get that, real match-winning contribution, which is what you want from your overseas players. So it's nice to get that under the belt.
At 195 centimetres, the imposing Englishman had no trouble clearing the rope.
It has gone on, the rope's gone away.
Or the Marnicle Oval grandstand.
Right down. That is huge.
That is out of there. Twice Hales smashed the ball out of the ground, the umpires needing urgent replacements. When he finally fell for 71 off 29 balls, the pressure didn't ease on the Stars.
Callum Ferguson joins in.
Elder statesman Usman Khawaja and Callum Ferguson picked up where Hales left off. 219, a team best score and third highest in Big Bash history. With the ball, they were just as impressive. Chris Green starred with 4 wickets as the Thunder cruised to a 75-run win. For the Sixers, it was looking bleak against the Renegades.
Go! Oh, he's got it!
Riley Rasson!
Got it!
Rolled up the arm!
You are kidding me!
Needing 16 off the final over, the West Indies captain fantastic Jason Holder pulled off an escape act.
Straight up, takes on mid-off, and it is gone!
The Sixers winning by 2 wickets with a ball to spare. James Manton, 7 News.
And that win keeps the Sixers on top of the Big Bash ladder, with the Thunder hot on their heels in second. The action continues tonight after the news. The Hobart Hurricanes take on the Brisbane Heat, right here, of course, on 7. Macarthur FC will finally make their A-League debut against the Wanderers tonight, becoming Sydney's 3rd club. The Wanderers women didn't have a good start to their W-League campaign against Sydney FC today.
First goal of the W-League season goes to Courtney Vine on enemy territory.
The Sky Blues won 3-0. Overseas, and Manchester United are up to 2nd on the Premier League ladder now after stealing a 1-0 win over Wolves in added time. Arsenal's Alexander Lacazette sealed a 2nd victory in a row for the Gunners, winning 1-0 against Brighton. West Brom are rooted to the bottom of the table after losing 5-0 to Leeds. And with own goals like this, it is not difficult to see why. An absolute coach killer there. Michael, last day here in Melbourne. As we know, we finally know where the next test is going to be, so we'll see you in Sydney.
We're not going to leave you stranded there anymore, Mel. We'll bring you home. Is that okay?
No, thank you. It's very kind. Thank you.
Good idea. All right. See you when you get back. Well, the Christmas come down has left a worrying number of Australians anxious about paying their mortgage or rent, already facing a grim start to 2021. The bill shock is only expected to get worse as pandemic support is wound back. But experts insist there are ways to relieve the strain.
Sean Jay's savings account has taken a double hit this month: Christmas and a new place.
Having to buy brand new furniture for a new house, paying, bond, 2 weeks rent in advance. It's a real struggle.
The 24-year-old needs a housemate so she can make the rent.
It keeps me up at night to be worrying about, how I'm going to pay bills in a couple of weeks if I don't have somebody there with me.
Comparison site Founder has dubbed it the Christmas come down. According to its latest numbers, 1 in 4 Australians are extremely nervous about making rent or mortgage repayments in January. Men are more anxious, 31%, compared to 19% of women.
Youth unemployment has hit a 23-year high. Millennials are among the group that are reporting the most strife.
Payment platform Defer It, used to cover a lot of household bills in January.
Traditionally, we've seen in January a 35% increase in bill volume through the platform in that period.
Experts say you can put more money back in your pocket by paying close attention to streaming services, gym memberships, subscriptions. Can you leave any of them behind in 2020? Consider refinancing with interest rates at a record low, or split the cost of rent, bills and groceries by moving into a share house. The prediction for 2021:
the future is very uncertain and pretty grim right now.
Making it worse, JobSeeker gets slashed again in 2 days' time. Jordan Katz, 7 News.
Now let's take a look at what's on Sunrise tomorrow.
Thanks, Ange. When you wake up, the secret discount deals the shops don't want you to know about.
How to save at the checkout and get cash back as well. That's tomorrow on Sunrise. See you in the morning, Sydney.
See you then. Now, Angie Asmus is back. Angie, good evening again. The wet weather showing no sign of clearing.
Michael, we will see out the year with grey skies, and that's how we'll start the new year as well. How much rain we're expecting next.
Coming up next, the Gabba's the venue for a huge BBL clash between the Brisbane Heat and the Hobart Hurricanes. Brian Lara, I can't wait for this.
Well, they're finally off the mark, Brisbane Heat, and they're still missing their captain, the man with the most runs in BBL history. But let's see if they can build on this.
Was it the start of something the other night? The Heat and the Hurricanes coming up for you live from the Gabba next.
Get more of what you need to lose weight with new MyWW+. It's like my own personal trainer.
It helps you to see the progress that you've made and motivates you to go further.
More holistic, more personalised, more weight loss. Join now and get your first month free.
Now at Domain, holiday at home in comfort with up to 60% off discontinued and ex-display mattresses and ensembles, and up to a huge 50% off clearance bedroom furniture, plus 60 months interest free with bonus gift cards. Now at Domain.
This year we were searching for something, not far away from home, but far away from our daily routine. What we found was an amazing place, space to have fun and privacy, time to recharge our batteries, the moments that make Australia.
Find more than you're searching for. Trivago. Compare accommodation offers from the leading brands worldwide and find the right deal for you. Hotel, holiday home, family time. Trivago.
If you've been awake for 17 hours or more, the effect on your driving is similar to having a blood alcohol content of 0.05. So remember to get a good night's sleep before your next drive and don't trust your tired self.
Boating, camping, fishing is BCFing fun.
It's the big one, the BCFing Boxing Day sale. Members can relax with 20 to 50% off all Wanderer chairs and lounges. Nice.
BCFing fun. Hey!
Mount Franklin Lightly Sparkling. Water with more wow.
The stylish Haval H2, a globally engineered, European-designed and feature-packed SUV. From just $22,990 drive away. Haval H2 Auto. Go with more.
The Snooze Super Summer Sale is now on. Save up to 50% off mattresses, including Sealy, Madison and Tempur. Plus, take an extra 10% off all mattresses and save up to 40% off bed frames. Hurry, extra 10% off ends Sunday.
Raspberry? Blueberry? Or why not both? At Macca's, there are 36 frozen Fanta flavours to discover for just $1. You can mix your favourites or enjoy a frozen Coke. A little goes a long way at Macca's.
Wow, things are really hotting up out there, Mark.
Oh, better set the temperature at home to be nice and cool when I get in.
Ah, that's a smart play indeed.
Oh, thanks. The new Anywhere Technology ducted controller is so smart, it lets you control your air conditioner with your smartphone from anywhere.
The scoreboard says it all, really.
And Fujitsu has been awarded the most trusted air conditioning brand 3 years running.
What a hat-trick.
Whole home comfort just got smarter.
Just get a Fujitsu.
It's Australia's favourite air.
She's 7'2's fearless detective. Look out! Who doesn't play by the rules. Frankie Drake Mysteries, tonight on 7'2.
This weather report is brought to you by Fujitsu, Australia's favourite air.
Tonight's 7 News headlines. There are fresh alerts tonight for several sites across the city, from Bankstown Sports Club to Liverpool and Katoomba. Sydney side is told to be vigilant.
That comes after 18 new cases today. A cluster in Croydon tipped to grow. Residents in Wollongong turning out in huge numbers for testing.
The outbreak has seen authorities reimpose restrictions ahead of New Year's Eve, a limit on numbers for indoor and outdoor celebrations.
And the UK has tonight approved the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine, the same jab being produced here in Australia. Now, Angie is back with Sydney's very grey New Year's Eve forecast. Angie.
Yes, thank you, Ange. Even the weather seems to be on board with Sydney's COVID restrictions because the New Year forecast is certainly fit for lockdown. It won't be overly different to today's conditions. We reached a top of 24 degrees under grey skies. It felt a fair bit cooler than that, though, followed a low of 18. It was pretty miserable across the suburbs as well. 25 degrees was about the warmest at Cronulla and the airport. Camden reached 22, just 21 for Richmond, while the showers were patchy today. Last night's falls were very heavy. Totals were by far the highest on the northern beaches. In the 24 hours to 9 a.m, Terry Hills recorded 105 millimetres, Belrose 78, Manly 63, Mona Vale picked up 48. That compared to just 19 millimetres in the CBD. From the satellite, we have thick cloud cover over the state's north. That is where storms have been focused today, but those warnings have eased for now. Tomorrow, we'll continue to see wet weather push onto the coast. Falls aren't going to be as heavy, though, and they'll mostly happen in the east. Around the nation for New Year's Eve, now Brisbane, a shower or two, 29 degrees. Canberra, a light shower, 26. Overcast for Melbourne. Morning showers for Hobart, followed by a cloudy day. So the best fireworks weather will be in Adelaide and Perth, where we can expect clear skies. Around the state, more showers on the coast, about 5 to 15 millimetres from Port Macquarie north, closer to 5 to 10 for Newcastle, then the south coast lighter again, just a couple of millimetres. Inland, most of the day is going to be fine with just the potential for some afternoon and evening storms developing. Closer in, it's going to be a cloudy day around Sydney tomorrow. Again, the showers will come and go throughout the day. Tops are not going to make it past the low 20s on the coast, mid 20s inland and a top of just 17 at Katoomba. On the coast, southeasterly winds will run at 10 to 15 knots on a 1 metre easterly swell. So if you are spending New Year's Eve on the water, apart from the light showers, conditions should be fairly light and manageable. For the city, a low of 19 degrees tonight, a top of 24 degrees, and those showers shouldn't amount to much, just a couple of millimetres, but it is going to be cloudy all day, including for the fireworks. To the week ahead, New Year's Day on Friday will also be overcast with showers, and that sets the tone for the first week of 2021 as well. Not much variety here. Totals are going to be fairly persistent in just a couple of millimetre range. So unfortunately, not the best news for New Year's Eve, guys.
It's probably about appropriate for the end of this kind of year, Angie.
Yep, well said.
Exactly.
All right, thank you for that. That is 7 News for this Wednesday. We'll have updates for you throughout the evening.
Sunrise starts from 5:30 tomorrow from all of us here at 7 News. Thanks so much for your company. Have a great night.
Good night.